Hey all, Happy New Year from the job site. How's everybody doing? First day of 2025. Um, Up here, just wanted to give you guys a quick update. It's hot. It's like 1:30 or so. It's cooking, but nobody's up here. So it's perfect. I can walk you guys around and show you what's been going on. Things were going a little bit slow for a while, but we're gonna put the pedal to the metal again here. We got some funding, so time to move forward on this fun project. Just standing out here at the gate. Lovely gate. Let me swing around so you guys can see what's going on. Road's looking really nice. Well, I say that, but down at that one part where the hillside's really steep on the right, a bunch of rocks came down from the same place, which is kind of annoying because it should really be the responsibility of the homeowner that's above there. They're actually not part of our street. They're in the neighborhood next door. Kind of pissed me off too, because if it wasn't rocks, it was cigarette butts and stuff like that. So when they start getting dog poop thrown on the side of their house for cigarette butts getting thrown down, they'll know why. I don't understand why flaming garbage is somehow acceptable, that cigarette smokers are exempt from littering, but I'll keep that rant for another day. So lots of welding taking place. The guys are working hard. Look at the staircase and the railing that we're doing. Initially I was thinking about doing those cables. Man, cables are expensive. Not only are the cables expensive, but you have to have like anchor hardware and stuff like that, that would hook in like here, here, and here. We were thinking 3, probably would have needed 4. So then you need the, tensioners, you need the anchor points. And I mean, it doesn't go the whole length, so you have to have them periodically throughout. And it was just going to be ridiculously expensive. And so we started looking into some other designs and stuff like that, and I thought this looked really cool. Obviously, it's going to be painted black like the rest, but the guys have made some great progress. And while I'm thinking about it too, we're getting this painting done underneath here. A little annoyed because I swear the guy told me that it was black paint, not brown paint. And this is kind of that expensive stuff that's corrosion resistant, but I don't care. Who cares? So it's brown. I want to go for earth tones anyway. So maybe black would have been too ugly, too dark or something like that. And he's made some great progress there. I thought he was going to be using a sprayer, but he's just been using a brush. That's got to just be mind-numbing work. So swung down to Pequeño Mundo. Got a couple more of these I guess I'm calling them bamboo screens, although it's not really bamboo. I mean, it really feels like you can see through it, but in reality, it actually does a pretty good job for privacy. And, the vines and stuff and the grasses are going to grow up in there, and you probably will hardly even see it after a certain point. So one more there, and then one more down there on the end. Just contemplating trying to do that myself today. We'll see. Maybe I can get that one done, but that one I'm definitely going to need some help with. But let me take you guys upstairs so you can see more of the welding. So nice to have a handrail to hold on to it. Oh man, it's so solid now. Initially it was a little wiggly because they didn't put any of the cross beams in yet, but they did now. Oh, I really like this. Look at that. Look at this balcony. Oh my gosh, they got the whole thing done. This is the first time I'm seeing it. I haven't come up here yet. I figured I'd wait for you guys. So nice. Man, I am loving that. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that piece down on the bottom, but I am now. I'm pretty happy with that. My concern is that some big fatty is going to step on this, like me, and bend it. But actually, it's like really freaking solid. You have to be pretty fat to bend that. So hopefully that's not happening. Nice and dry in here too, which I like because we had some rain. So that's telling me that our roof is doing what we want it to do. It was rattling a little bit, so the guys were going to tighten it up a little bit. I don't think they got to that yet, But we'll get there. But okay, look. So they got the bottom piece in here. You know, that one. That's just up off the ground a little bit there. And then it looks like this is where they had enough. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't done anything more up here yet. But I just love the way that this railing has kind of created a bit more of a feeling of space, you know, that this is a contained space now along with the roof. So I'm pretty pleased with that. This is just going to be such a nice place to hang out. Some couches, some hammocks up here. Just what a spot to hang out. I mean, even just now coming up from the street, you catch a little bit more breeze, and of course you're in the shade, so it's pretty nice. Projects upcoming, probably the first thing is let's finish up this roof, make sure that it's all watertight and it's not rattling in the wind. I got a call on Christmas Eve from the owner of this place, who's normally not here. He's been renting it, but he was here, and it was raining a little bit, and it was rattling kind of in the wind, which we don't want. Not only I don't want to disturb him, but I don't want my roof rattling. The other thing is we're going to redo these floors. You know, it's funny. I did a video the other day. I completely forgot to post it. So it's probably been a minute since I did a video. But just as a reminder here, this is the thickness we want for the floor. And unfortunately, this is the thickness they did for the rest of this floor here. This is supposed to be as thick as this, and it ain't. So unfortunately, these panels have to come back up, and we'll redo it with the right size ones. But you know what? I'm glad we caught it when we did. It would have been a whole lot worse if we had completely finished the floor and it always felt squishy under your feet. And again, you know, more for big fatties like me. But, you know, you want to have a solid space. You know, I don't think I realized how big this deck was going to be. But, you know, I'm pretty sure we're looking at 7 by 7 meters along here. So it's a big space. So, you know, we could hang hammocks really easily. Whatever we want to do here. But I just think it's getting harassed by a bug. Sorry. Anyway, I'm just really pleased with the progress that we've made and that the progress that we're going to make here. Really going to try and get the guys to put the pedal to the metal and get this sucker done. So we can have some place for you guys to come stay. This is all just one big marketing ploy, right? All these videos have just been about getting you guys out here. But, you know, there's a big part of that. My family was just here for Christmas, which was awesome. We had a really nice time. I mean, unfortunately, it rained on Christmas Day, but, you know, that happens. I was going to do a big barbecue for my friends, and, you know, we had to cancel it. But the next time they come, they'll be able to stay here. I mean, I'm really looking forward to being able to extend this invitation to my friends to come and stay at this awesome place. All right, so I just noticed something kind of cool down here. So you see that White House in the distance? Let me zoom in. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom a little more. What is that they just built down there? Right there, kind of in the middle? Does that look like a skate ramp to you? I think that is a frickin' skate ramp. Sorry, it's probably making you dizzy. It's hard to hold it when I'm zooming in that far. That is a skate ramp. That's pretty frickin' cool. Okay, props to whoever's doing that. How fun would it be sitting up here watching some guy shredding up on that skate ramp? It's got to be hot as hell, but, you know, in the evenings and stuff. So that's something that you kind of have to take into consideration in Costa Rica, because it gets dark here at 5:30 every day. I mean, even earlier this time of year, because it's still the shortest days of the year, you know. But, I mean, even in the longest days of the year, the sun sets at 6. So you have a lot of time that you're out at night. So having lighted spaces and things where you can hang out, like being up here, just so nice at night. I mean, I could see a dude going out there and practicing at, 7 o'clock at night. That's not late, right? But it's just going to be pitch dark. But if he sets up some lights over there, how cool is that? Same way for the main house. I'm trying to create a lot of outdoor living spaces that'll be lit up. I'm going to put in a garage at some point down there where you see that wood pile. Zoom, zoom, zoom. See the wood pile down there? I want to do a garage over there, and we'll just do a simple just simple garage, but I want to reinforce the roof so we can do something like this on top. Obviously, it won't be this high. It won't have a living space, but do a game room, have a pool table up there, a foosball table, and darts, anything else that might be kind of fun. Maybe a couple pieces of cardio equipment or something like that. I guess we've even got enough space. You could use like a corner like that and put in like a free motion machine, one of those cable machines with the free moving arms. You can do like 100 different exercises on them. The things you learn when you were a personal trainer once upon a time. But yeah, it's just getting a lot more fun because I can start to visualize stuff. And all that same cross hatching, I guess, we'll call the welding work for the railings. We'll do all of that consistently all the way around. No need to have things all different. I can tell noticeably that it's getting more solid, much more solid as we put in these reinforcements and stuff. So I'm pleased with that. I don't need a lot of wiggling going on. I mean, this level's super duper solid already. It was just on the roof that I was a little concerned, but I'm loving this. And this is just gonna be so sweet. I always like to picture it from here because this is where you'd be sitting if you were laying in bed. You got your TV right there or whatever, but then you got that view right there, and then you get up, to go get something out of the kitchen, and it's like, boom, look at that picture right there. It looks like it should be surrounded by a frame. I mean, it looks like a photograph or a painting or something. And then, I got to go take a pee. Well, look, you got the view right there too. So, cool, huh? I think so. You should think so, because it's cool. And if you don't think it's cool, you're not cool. Well, to each his own, right? Everybody likes their own thing. I kind of was thinking about going modern, but we're going pseudo-modern. So, here's a little bit of an issue that we had. Back before I fired Roberto, we had some problems with the well. We weren't getting any water. Now, there are solutions around not having water. Might not have been the easiest or the cheapest, but unfortunately, because we didn't have water, we didn't get a chance to really finish these walls correctly, and now it's peeling and bubbling. So what we're going to have to do is scrape most of this off. And I mean, it'll come off pretty easily. You can see, it just peels off of my finger there. But we're going to have to scrape it all off and redo it. You can see a couple spots on the front here. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a couple spots over here where it's bubbling. And you can tell it's just going to pop off anytime. And I don't want to leave it white either. So the idea was that we would paint that. However, now that we're going to have to redo all of this, plastering, let's call it, I want to do it in a tint. I want to do it in more of like a natural tint so that we don't have to paint it. So the paint is actually in the plaster. And if we come over here and you look at the neighbor's place, not where the stone is here, but underneath that window, the gray area, that looks like it was done using the same technique. It's like a plastering, and they put in some tint in there to give it a little bit more of a gray concrete look. I'm thinking we'll do something a little bit more earthy, like with some browns and tans and stuff like that. When you're driving up the highway, you can see these places, and they look like these little golf balls sitting up here in a row, all stark white. And I'm not crazy about that. I don't really want to go with that white modern look. That's done to death. I want some color in there. I don't want them to stick out. I want it to be a little bit more low profile. So what else is going on? We're talking about getting these lids done. Just so that it's safer. You're not looking down in there. It's just welding, just more welding, more materials. But that's a big hole for somebody to accidentally fall into, right? It needs to get done anyway. And we'll probably do all 3 of them when we get it done, just so that we're not dealing with this as a risk anymore. I'm looking over at the electricity over there, still waiting on getting the approval from ESAE, the electrical cooperative, to get our electricity in. We've got the permit. Up there's Dave's finger. That means it's a Dave Rush original, because you got to see my fingers. So technically ESAE only allows for a 50-meter run from one pole to the other. And if you remember, so there's our pole, the green one right there with nothing off of it. But you see the cable coming up the hill. So, okay, wait a second. That's strange. This, okay, this is how things are done. They say it can't be any more than 50 meters. Look at how long that run of cable is to the next pole. That's just hidden behind that tree. I'm not going to walk up there, take my word for it. But the length between that pole over there and our pole is like 54 meters. So we have to pay and get a variance approved for a little bit of an extra run. But other than that, we should be good. I should really get that camera up and running. I got a Reolink camera, a nice one too, all solar powered and everything. And I got Starlink. That's probably the best solution for internet up here. It's over there. That's why I'm pointing the camera there. So I can get this thing set up at any time with the camera. So I can spy on what's going on up here. But there's a QR code on that camera that I need to scan. And I haven't gotten around to doing it. Just been procrastinating. I'll get it. I'll get it. One thing at a time. But yeah, that's it, my friends, for the first day of 2025. Let's hope for a nice, peaceful year. I've stopped having grand expectations, because last year when I said, 2024 is going to be great, 2 days later my hip dislocated in Florida and ended up back in Colorado for 2 months for surgery. So 2024 was a year of surgery for me. Well, because then you remember, then 6 months later, it was infected, and I was back into Colorado again for another hip, and 6 months of IV antibiotics. I mean, which was fine. I mean, I stayed with my mom. It was great. Mental note, Dave, call mom. Haven't talked to her for New Year's yet. But, I'd rather not be dealing with medical issues. They say you've got a million problems until you have a medical problem, and then you have one problem. And I agree with that. Nothing's more preoccupying and distracting than dealing with medical shit. So, my friends, see Manuel Antonio way off there in the distance. We were down there with my family. That was fun. We did a monkey tour, a mangrove monkey tour on a boat, and saw everything. Saw a caiman, saw tons of monkeys, all sorts of birds and lizards and fun stuff like that too. It was really fun. So glad my family came down. I think they all had a really good time. They stayed at this beautiful house in Jaco. It's only like 6 days, so it flew by. But now they've been here, they got no excuses to come back. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. Until next time, take care.